It's finally time for the typical beach/vacation episode of the anime. Almost all animes have it, and if they don't, then they're missing something, I guess. But yeah, I was really excited to see this one. I knew it was coming for a while now, obviously. And now that I've kind of watched it, I'm just like, it was okay. There was some stuff that was like, meh. But overall, it was a good episode. Reiki, still recovering from the injuries of the, beef with Adam, decides to go to the hot springs to, hopefully heal up quicker. So he goes with Longa, Mia, and Shadow, who is their basically glorified babysitter. On the ship that is taking them to the hot springs, we do confirm one thing. Reiki is, in fact, into girls, which means I have come to the conclusion that he is our bi hero. But, judging by Longa's expression and him saying, that's your thing, not mine, and referring to, flirting with a girl, we can only assume that Longa is gay. That's my headcanon now. Reiki is bi, Longa is gay. And I will fight anybody who says that frickin' Joe is not bisexual. Look at him. Sure, he is totally a womanizer. But you can't tell me he doesn't have feelings for Cherry. I'm telling you, man, they did stuff in the past. They did stuff. And they might still secretly be doing stuff. I don't know. And I haven't seen Cherry interested in anybody except for occasionally, obviously, passive-aggressively flirting with Joe. So I'm going to assume that Cherry is gay. So, Which makes Shadow our token heterosexual of the anime. Anyways, by some twist of fate, the whole cast is on the ship on the way to the hot springs. All for different reasons. Which, I thought was a very comical way to really start out the beach episode. To kind of explain why they're all there, The main group is there for Reiki's healing. And then we got Cherry, who's there for work. And Joe's there to, flirt with girls. I think the most iconic scene of this whole episode, though, is when they get off the boat and they're racing. And Mia's like, why do you have an umbrella? And Joe goes, because, his skin is too delicate for the sun. And we see that Joe had somehow pretty much lost his shirt. And Mia's like, bro, where's your shirt? And that's when Cherry calls him a thirsty gorilla. And how he's looking at him. Like, there's like a little bit of, almost a desire. But yet he's like trying to hold it back a little bit. I don't know. Just the whole thing is just so smexy, if you will. The iconic scene also has a following Ranga clip where Joe makes a really cool flip jump thing and Reiki gets really excited by it and wants to go try it, right? And Longa stops him and is like, no, we're here for you to heal, He's like looking out for him, being firm. And I don't know, I thought that was kind of sweet of him. The animation of sk8 the Infinity continues to be amazing and beautiful, almost DreamWorks quality, when we get the scene of them doing flips and stuff on their way to the beach when they spot it, and just the visual of them up in the air in these cool poses with the sun behind them. I don't know, it's very awe-inspiring and almost makes me want to go skateboard, even though if I were to go skateboarding, I would surely end up hurt with a ton of broken bones. It doesn't take us long to get to the actual beach part of the beach episode, and every scene looks very beautifully animated, of course, and it makes you almost feel like you're there. I almost want to go to a beach and swim, and I think beaches are gross and dirty and full of fish poop. But I wanted to join in on that, and Longa's pure face as he's in the pool, just pure happiness. I felt that for sure. I also felt him when he clearly overheated, and he had a little rig on his forehead to help cool him down, and his friends Mia and Reiki were just like fanning him, like trying to cool him down. Oh, that was really funny. Poor boy, he overdid it. Of course, the iconic Ranga moment was when Reiki had a girl voice and he was like clinging to a confused Langa, like saying, "Help me, he's so scary." And then Langa catches on what's going on and says, "Don't worry, Faye, I got ya." Called Faye. I love this English translation. And it was so funny when Joe is checking out this one girl that Mia points out and claims is his mommy. And it just scales up to reveal that it's Cherry. And it's like, how could you not have noticed that that wasn't a girl anyways, looking up once you got to the chest, because that was clearly a male's, chest. And Mia was just way too adorable, how he just clings to him and looks at those girls that Joe was flirting with, these big, wide eyes, just full of this sadness and everything. Like, "Don't steal Daddy from me." And it's like, oh, it was so funny and adorable. We got to see some more of that mystery lady who we find out now is a cop, and the one that was responsible for breaking up the beef between Adam and Snow/Langa. The two have a very uncomfortable interaction that leaves that poor girl just kind of like grossed out, and I do not blame her at all. One thing that wasn't really all that creative and was honestly pretty redundant was the fact that they thought they were staying at a really ritzy hotel, only to realize that Shadow had, booked them one across the street that was, run down and just in terrible condition. I've seen that done so many times in anime and manga. It's just kind of old. However, I did find it hilarious that Langa, as soon as they arrived, approached, a doorway to a bathroom stall. And he did a Hail Mary, like just really nervously. And he opens it up the stall after performing his little Hail Mary to see just the most rundown, grossest looking bathroom. And the look on his face was just like doom. And then the joke repeats itself when not that long after, they end up crashing Cherry's hotel to eat, his 4-course meal. We see Langa's not with them, and then it reveals he's in front of another bathroom doorway, and he's again performing a Hail Mary, just looking just done for, right? And then he opens the door, and it's a really nice, luxury-looking almost bathroom, and the toilet looks really nice and clean, and just the little animation effects around him, and it's just purely just like relieved, like, thank God face. And it just tied it all together. After eating, we see some more of the start of the fall of Ranga, if you will, where you can really see that he's starting to just compare himself to Langa, just based on how the board looks. And he's like, man, I can't seem to catch up. He's so good already, We don't have time to dwell, though, on that relationship angst, because according to Mia, he overheard that there might be a creature on this island. So now Reiki has even more worries. I love how throughout this episode you also get little snippets of not only Shadow being like a big bro / uncle to them, but Joe and Cherry showing concern in their own way for everyone. And I feel like Joe is like the dad of the group. He's like, hey, I got your back. Let me give you advice. Meanwhile, Cherry's like, hey, don't be stupid. Don't hurt yourself. Much to Reiki's dismay, they all decide that they're going to race to where the hot springs are based on where the map is, and, whoever gets there first is the winner. But, Reiki's scared. He doesn't like the idea that there's a creature somewhere. And he's like, not able to go as fast or as well anyways, because, you know, he's still recovering from his injury, guys. Of course, Ricky does fall behind, like, super behind, and he's lost, and he's, you know, scared. Any little noise is just causing him to jump. Longa does realize, you know, that they really left him behind, and he decides to give up winning their little race so he could go find his buddy. After they reunite, they end up finding Shadow, and then Mia just knocked out, completely covered in mud, and they're just freaked out. They're like, oh crap, it's the creature they were talking about. And they don't have too much time to dwell on it, because after they find Mia, there's one of the mud monsters just like staring at them. I find it particularly hilarious, the expressions on their face when they both break out running, and then eventually they get on their own skateboards, and they're like just trying to speed away. Things start to look grim for Ricky when he falls back, and it seems like he's gonna fall, he's gonna get hurt again, and the mud monsters are, you know, they're gonna get him. Fortunately, Prince Longa reaches out, grabs his hand, and then pulls him up, and they're like sliding down together, hand in hand, and it just looks so romantic and just so sweet. Like, I gushed a little bit. I mean, look how they're smiling at each other right there. Does it not look like something that belongs on the cover of some Disney romance movie? Does it not? Little romantic moment, though, is cut short when they realize that they are surrounded on both sides. There's little mud monsters, like, both sides, and it's inevitable, and they get surrounded, and then they, from both sides, they mud people all just, you know, jump on them. Not gonna lie, it was very unnerving a bit to watch them just cover both Ricky and Longa with mud, and the look of just defeat in their eyes, like, at the stench and them just being surrounded. It ruined the moment a little bit for me. Cherry and Joe's little hot springs date was also ruined by these mud monsters, and they too end up getting surrounded and covered in mud. We of course find out through a flyer that was briefly shown, you know, stop or you'll miss it potentially, that it was a festival, and these people were covering all of them with mud to protect you from evil spirits. But the question is, did they get covered with enough stinky mud to protect them from the evils of, you know, episode 7 onwards? I don't know. Probably not. And the episode ends with Adam informing his secretary, assistant, that there's going to be a tournament to set up for, you know, the main course and prepare him to meet his Eve, which obviously it already decided was, you know, going to be Longa. Anyways, as far as beach episodes go, it's got a lot of good stuff in it, but it also kind of takes from other, you know, mangas and animes. Off the top of my head, the whole, like, relaxing beach thing with the is it supernatural, is it not subplot, pretty sure that happened in Free. There's some others that I can't think of at the moment where that also happened. There's a few other stuff that happened that I was like, you know, but all in all, it was really well done. It was definitely beautifully animated, and the voice acting and the English translations, stellar, definitely. I don't know. I think I would probably give it about an 8 out of 10. One thing that really brings it up for me is that during the beach scenes, there is a really awesome song. I wish I knew the name of it. If you guys know, let me know, because I definitely want to add that to my playlist. But yeah, I think that the beach episode in Actor-Song Connection, to me at least, was leagues better. There was more time on the beach compared to this one, and I feel like a beach episode needs more beach time. But that's just me. I get you need to have some skateboarding going on. It's a skate infinity. But still, anyways, let me know down below. What did you guys think? Did you guys like it? You guys not? You liking the show? I don't know. Anyways, see you next time. Bye.